Welcome back to the Timeout with Tyshawn Taylor podcast hosted by Rock. I am Rock. He is Tyshawn. We are season 3, episode number 3. We got a lot to get into, my man. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Feel like it's been a while.
It's been a little bit, but we had a first big test the other night against North Carolina in North Carolina at the Dean Dome. So, kind of want to get your thoughts, your breakdowns, what you liked, didn't like to the game.
I love the first half. I love the first half. I think we played really well, played fast, shot the ball well. Um, but second half, not so much.
Tale of two halves.
Tell it two halves, and I think that's to be expected a little bit with a new team, still trying to figure out each other, trying to figure out themselves within Coach Self's system. Um, making shots helps everything, and when you don't make shots, you really start to kind of figure it out. Even with in the Louisville game, if you go back to the Louisville game, they had a big lead and kind of lost it late, just making some dumb turnovers, playing faster than they needed to at that point in the game, not making shots the same as they were in the first half. And it's kind of similar. It just mattered now. I think playing on the road is tough, right? An early game like that on the road against a good team, um, in an arena that's probably like just as crazy as ours, I'm assuming. I never played there. I never been fortunate enough to have to play there, but I can imagine that being one of 3 or 4 places that's just as intense as ours. Um, so yeah, it's young team still, and I think there are a lot of things to work on, but I don't think that early game um, really defines them. I think if you again making shots, you just kind of looks good. If you're
Right.
not making shots, you really get to see what the team is, and I think based off of second half, we weren't making shots as much. Um, defense wasn't great. Pick and roll defense specifically. There was a lot of like, should I help? Should I go back? Should I stay? Should I go? Like, um, yeah, like the bigs were getting caught in these situations and they were giving up lobs. They were either staying too long on the guard and the guard was able to drop it off to the big for a dunk, or they weren't staying long enough and then the guard can penetrate and get downhill. So it's just one of those things that I'm sure they watched film on it. I'm 100% sure they watched film. Because I was on like scrolling down Twitter or something, and I seen this basketball content guy like breaking down how they weren't guarding the pick and rolls, and I was like, well, if he fucking sees it and knows, I'm
Right.
sure the coaches do in real time. So, I think it's a learning experience. I think it's a good learning experience. You want to have games like that where you getting really tested this early. I played against my senior year. We made it to the national championship. We played against Kentucky in the Madison Square Garden. We went to Maui and played against Duke and freaking Georgetown, and so we were tested a bunch for November. Even got here or like right when November started or before Christmas. So, excuse me, before Christmas. And so, I think games like that are good for them.
Yeah, once you get to March, then you've kind of seen and done everything.
Just know
And
you've been through every situation. I mean, in March is a little bit different because you're playing on a neutral
neutral
court,
court.
right? Like this is a home and away type of vibe. So, um, again, playing Darren Peterson never played college basketball for real. Melvin never played at this level of college basketball. Jaden never played at this level of basketball. Fury been in some big games, but he wasn't a focal
He
point
wasn't
in
the
these
guy.
games. Freaking, I can go down the list of guys who never. Bryson Tiller played really well against
Yeah,
North
he
Carolina,
did.
shot the ball really well in the first half, right? To be expected. Your adrenaline's rushing, blah blah blah. As this is happening, the coaches are on the other bench, on the other sideline, are making adjustments. So now you're not getting those same shots in the second half. You think John Shire or excuse me, not John Shire.
Hubert
That's next
Davis.
week. Nolan, they
Hubert.
Hubert. Excuse me, Hubert Davis didn't go in there and make adjustments. Bro, we got to close out the Bryson. He made 4 threes. We got to crowd DP when he's coming on pick and rolls. These are young kids who haven't seen this level of basketball, especially on the road. So again, to be expected, right? To be expected. I'm glad they showed signs of being really, really
Yeah.
good. They show flashes of being really, really good. Mostly when Darren's making shots. Mostly when Darren's making shots, but not only that. Our guest that we had on the couch in our first episode, Melvin, getting in the paint, making
Paint.
plays. He had
He's
like
quick.
11 points, 6 or 7 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists. So getting in there, making plays, doing stuff like that. Like I think we show flashes,
They definitely showed some good
but
flashes.
mostly when we're making shots. And I think that's fool's gold because you're gonna have to win a lot of games when the shot's not falling.
Tuesday, they bounced back against Green Bay at home, obviously, but I do think I can take some credit for some of the turnaround because I noticed what the problem was against North Carolina. I sent your boy Melvin a quick message.
And you did it this the next game?
and it was Cole shaving off his mustache.
Oh, yeah? I
Yeah,
didn't even peep that.
yeah. I told him. I said,
Because
"Man,
Cole had him he balled out against the
yeah."
other day
He
against,
bowled when he didn't have his
Texas
mustache.
Corpus
I
Christi.
tried to get him to come on the show and do shave it on the show. We could do a
Imma hit Cole up. That's my boy. Cole actually I actually got a chance to coach Cole a little bit this summer at the Top 100 camp before he committed to Kansas. So when he committed, we had a little bit of a relationship, so I was able to kinda seen him in the airport when he was landing here, I'm pretty sure.
So
Um,
once he shaved that thing off, man, ball was going through the hoop on Tuesday night. So
yeah,
I
he
think
was
we got that part
Cole's not
corrected.
shy, man. Cole's not shy. I actually got a chance to go to that game, so I was there live. Because I wanted to see them in person. I missed I missed like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the first half of North Carolina because I was doing training. Caught the whole second half. Excuse me. I know that they will be on the road, and I probably won't be able to make it to tomorrow's game. So I wanted to see them live when I could, and I went to the game. And Cole played well, obviously.
Yeah,
Darren didn't play. And I think Cole played well because he shot it well, but he also played well because I think one of the things with young kids is always how they pick up the defensive principles and if they can guard. And he did really well on a couple of possessions that even stood the bench up. It had nothing to do with him making shots or catching lobs, which he did a bunch of that.
right.
He had like 3 or 4 lobs, bunch of dunks. I mean, a bunch of dunks, a bunch of threes. He's super, super athletic, and he's a tough kid. Um,
So before we get into the big game next week against Duke, I wanted to ask you, is it hard sometimes to focus and lock in when you're playing? No disrespect to Green Bay, but you just come from a North Carolina game
who's
playing.
Green Bay?
Isn't that who they played Tuesday?
Is it Princeton?
No, they just beat it on last Tuesday.
Oh, no, it was Texas A&M
Oh,
Corpus
Texas
Christi.
A&M.
I'm
Yeah,
like, "Who the fuck?"
they
You said
played
Green Bay
Green
like
Bay before. Okay, so when they played Texas A&M Corpus
uh-huh,
Christi, no disrespect to them, but you just came from the Dean Dome. You're looking forward to playing at Madison Square Garden against Duke.
mhm.
Is it hard to lock in sometimes to play Texas A&M?
They are kinda trap games. I think they are kinda trap games because you are looking forward to those big games. Being the Kansas team, you like
Because I've been to the field house for a bunch of games, and you can tell. I mean, it's always loud and the energy is always good, but you can tell when it's a big Monday game. You can tell when it's a
yeah.
league game
A
against
lot of that
a
has to do with the fans. I think as players, even as players, it's just hard to get up for certain games. Like, the crowd may have more energy than the players in certain situations because they're just excited to be there. They may not make it to the next game. So
right.
those everybody that's there, they're excited about being there, and sometimes it is hard to get up for those games. I think but again, this goes back to what I said about guys not playing at this level. It shouldn't be hard to get up for this game. If you're in a Kansas jersey, you gotta get up to play basketball because everybody you play against is gonna be trying to kill you. Now, does Texas A&M Corpus Christi have the ability to kill you? No, but Princeton, who they play Tuesday, could, or whenever, or
They
what is
play
it,
Saturday
tomorrow?
tomorrow. Yeah.
Princeton, who they play tomorrow, could, right? Like, it's games like that. Like, again, to kind of go back to my career in some games that I remember. I remember my senior year, that same year where we played against Duke in North Carolina early in the year. We lost to Davidson in
Is that at
Kansas
the
City.
Sprint Center, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the Sprint Center, we lost to Davidson, and it was one of those games that just never felt good. You just didn't get it. Like, just like, damn, we playing in the Sprint Center, and it's against Davidson. It's not like a tournament thing. It's just a regular game on the schedule. It just happens to be in Kansas City, and against Day, it was
Right.
just really
And I think
weird.
that game's usually right before Christmas too, right?
It's
So you
just a
guys are
bunch of
probably
shit
thinking
going on that
about
you don't wanna play. You're just
right.
not excited about really playing the game. Practices are extra hard because coach knows, like, these guys are fucking sleeping right now. They're not tuned in, they're not turned up, but, um, yeah, I mean, it is tough. It is tough, but I think, again, my advice to those guys, I'm sure if they're watching or catch clips of this, or if I can just reach out to them at all, would be, again, a lot of these guys, Darren, we might got Darren for 1 year. We got Melvin for 1 year. We might have Fury for just one more year. These guys, you got to get up to play in camp. You got to get up. You got to. It doesn't matter. You got 30 games. You got 30 some games. You got to get up.
Do you know how many games you lost at the field house in your 4 years?
One,
Who was it?
Texas. Not even a great Texas team. Good players, just not one of their better teams that I played against. We just,
That's pretty incredible. 4 years, one loss.
yeah, we had a lot going on. Actually, I think I said this, but I don't like talking about it because there was a lot going on behind, like, off the court that affected the game that literally that day. So it was like a tough situation for all of us. And every time I talk about, damn, I only lost one time, I almost got to talk about that story, and it's just hard. Or it's just one of those things that was unfortunate for for a person on our team and the team, everybody that was involved, and we had to play a game literally the next day. You know what I'm saying? And so it was a lot going on. But as hoopers and competitors, we played the game. We played the game. We was up at like 15 or 16 at one point and just burnt out. But yeah, one game, lost one game, Saturday afternoon game like this, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You gotta get up 8 o'clock. Your whole routine is switched off that you used to having is completely different. Then you got a team that's coming in here looking around like, oh my God, this is Allen Fieldhouse. We get to play against kids. It's
On
like
national TV.
it's games like this that fuck you up, man. They can get you.
So I know on that game specifically, you guys were dealing with personal stuff, but if you didn't, like these guys today, do they have a curfew tonight? Do they go out tonight? Like, what's the just hanging out?
Hell no. I honestly don't know that they go out much anyway, bro. I couldn't imagine me being $100,000 guy wanting to party in Lawrence. That's just me personally. Like if I was an NIL guy in college, I wouldn't party here. I would not hang. It would just be weird. Personally, that's something maybe a personal thing. I
I was gonna
don't
say for me, I think if I had that much money, I'd be here showing it out.
and nah, I
No,
don't think so. These college kids, who you showing off to? I would wanna that's a thing that I think about that some type of time like sometime. Like if I was in the NIL era, I would be flying to New Jersey on weekends. Like Coach Self would be having a call to check and see if we made it back from wherever we took a private jet to.
right,
Me and the twins talked about we talk about that type of stuff. Like we would NIL came with the right kind of kids, with the right group of
right.
the right generation of people because any generation before that would have freaking went crazy. But anyway, I think they definitely don't go out. Definitely don't go out. Like I said, your whole game day schedule was changed because you're used to playing at 8, 7, 8
8
o'clock
o'clock
at
at night.
night. So to play at 12 o'clock, you probably don't even have a shoot around. Coach may make you get up to come to the gym at 9 o'clock and you stand there until the game when normally you could come for shoot around in the morning, go home, rest, eat, shower, watch film, do whatever you want to do, come back 2, 3 hours before the game. That's not really a thing. I'm pretty sure they're all getting to sleep early, waking up super early, getting some good breakfast, probably watching some film, getting stretched, shooting around a little bit until the actual clock starts running at 10 o'clock. Game's at 2, the clock starts running down at 60, 90 minutes or something like that for people to start warming up and all of that, get on the court. So um it's gonna be fast. They better not be going out. I would again, my old
So,
head
so,
advice is
so
to not
since
go out.
you weren't in the NIL area, did you guys go out?
Mm-mm,
No, man.
mm-mm.
The statute of limitations done ran out
Yeah, no, no, no. On a Friday game like this, we wouldn't go out. We would have literally like went crazy after the game.
Saturday night.
Yeah, like insane, like crazy after the game, like tore this whole street down. Bar hop. Nah, yeah, I mean you can wait at night. You can wait at night. I mean, you ain't missing shit. They big time anyway. So wherever they go to party is, they can have a party in the crib and kick everybody out at 11 and still
Right.
get rest. I'm not suggesting those
I
things.
don't know
I'm
why in
just
my head,
saying.
some reason I just envision like I don't know KT or Dooley going down like door to door, knocking at like ten
No, we
thirty,
had
making
curfew
sure.
though. Like we all when we lived in the dorms, we had curfew. So what they would do, our curfew check-in was when they would deliver the food to us. So like whatever our food that we were eating the night before the game, they would deliver it to us. So we would have like we would go to practice the day before the game, and we'd eat after practice. They'd have like food there, so we eat.
Right.
And then around like 9 or 10 o'clock, they deliver us like a pizza or like a snack.
Snack.
And that was a check-in. Come downstairs to get your pizza. That's how they really checked it in. And it was a manager. It wasn't a coach. It was like a manager. So I mean, you could finesse that. You just can leave after. But
So we pick it up. I'm picking up pizza for Tyshawn, the
yeah, like
twins, T Rob.
I literally so many times was like taking my pizza and going to my car and going to like
On the way out.
girls. Like I'm here, bro. I was here. Like I was here. Or pulling up right when they was about to leave. Like, bro, I waited 10 minutes for you.
Where you
Come on,
going?
come on, bro. You see how this shit go. But yeah, I mean, they young kids, bro. I expect them to do dumb shit, but I think they professionals also now a little bit more
I
too.
was gonna
So
say it's a
I
lot
think,
changed.
yeah, I think they're more about their business than we were. We were college kids that just played basketball. They're more business. They're college kids. Don't get it wrong, but I think it's like professional first. Like,
Right.
like honestly, they're professionals. And so it seems like they all are handling it that way. Honestly, I mean, Yeah, it seems like they handle themselves like professionals, which I could appreciate because I wouldn't have been able to at 19, 18, 19.
Especially with Twitter and Instagram and all
Yeah.
the
If I was in the
visibility.
NBA at 18 or 19, yeah, but as a college kid, my mind would have been like, I'm a fucking college kid. I'm
Right.
supposed to be doing this. Like, that's what everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't help that I'm good at basketball. I wanna fucking go party and get drunk too. I wanna, like, miss a class here and there. Like, Imma sleep in sometime, like, but you're not supposed you shouldn't, right? It's frowned upon. You got so much to lose. You can't do this. It's like, bro, I'm 19 years old, bro. Like, it's not the end of the world.
So you got to play in the Garden how many times at for KU?
Ooh, I played against Memphis one year, played against Kentucky one year, maybe missed someone in there. I think it was 3, but I remember those 2 vividly. We were about to get into a fight with Memphis. The Garden at one point, both teams came out the same huddle, and we had to like wait until the other team
Right.
was like finishing their game, and we both was in the huddle. And anytime we get close to any team and Marcus and Markeith on your team, you gotta be ready to fight, bro. Like literally, because they just be doing dumb shit all the time. But we was ready to fight Memphis, which I love those guys. Will Barton, one of my best, like one of the coolest guys that I know as far as like basketball community. He was on that team as a freshman. Um, and then played against Kentucky my last year, and I played really, really good that game. We didn't win, but I played good. And I think like that was one of those early games where I felt like I know where this season is going for me. And I was very unsure prior to that because this was the first time I was going to be in a position where if Tyshawn doesn't play good, we might lose this game. It wasn't like that before. He's not playing good. We take him out, put somebody else in.
Right.
Right. That was the first time I was in that position. So I was like, I got this. And then obviously T-Rob was fucking the first best player in the country, but obviously Anthony Davis was who he was. But T-Rob was, for me, the best player in the country. And it wasn't even close. When we needed a bucket, just drop that shit in.
So what's your take on the KU Duke Tuesday night at the
Mhm.
Garden?
I don't want to skip Princeton because I know that's what they're doing. I think tomorrow they got to play really well. I think I'm gonna go back to Tuesday. I went and watched Tuesday live, and let's go back to North Carolina. They played well against North Carolina in the first half. They didn't play so well against. Let's go back to Louisville. Sorry, I know we touched on all of this, but I want to just kind of go in the timeline because we was all over the place. But Louisville played really well in the first half, not so well in the second half. Followed that up by doing the same thing at North Carolina. Um, Texas Corpus Christi, again, can't really judge that, but I'm judging it because it's a game, it's at home. And I feel like those are games where if I'm Fury or if I'm Melvin, I'm gonna use Cole as an example. Cole used that game for a confidence booster. I'm gonna
Right.
shoot this bitch. I'm gonna go out here and shoot shots that maybe I wouldn't shoot at North Carolina because the game is more, it's a little bit more pressure. But if I can make this and coach sees I can make this, maybe if I do shoot it at Duke, it won't be that big of a deal. You use those games for like that type of thing, right? And I didn't see that from Fury. And I seen in North Carolina, I seen a lot of like miscommunication and like something that I don't expect to see from somebody who's been in these situations a little bit. Again, he hasn't been in them much because he was playing behind Hunter. So you just threw him in when you needed a spark, not really to win the game. But I felt like in order for us to be the team that I think we could be, he has to be a 15, 10, 3 for a block kind of guy. I don't know that he can get 15 points a night unless he catch 7 lobs. And he might get 2 or 3 a game.
Right.
DP so good, Melvin so good, getting in the paint. They're gonna draw attention. He may get 3 or 4. 7 is OD, and I don't know that he can score any other way. Like he got a couple switches against Corpus Christi, caught the ball, and literally didn't look to score. Like just looked to fan it, and I was just like, "No, what the?" I'm like screaming from the behind the bench, "Score!" The bench was yelling for one of the guards to throw it into him one time, and I ended up saying to myself, "Like for what? He's just gonna throw it back out." And I think I want to see more from him. Like I would challenge Fury if I was in practices and stuff. I would challenge him to be more aggressive. When it like not shoot every shot, but like if the ball has been swung a couple of times and you end up getting some type of mismatch or catching the ball in the 10 to 15 feet area, you gotta
Make
you
a
gotta
move.
be able to. You don't gotta score every time, but your teammates gotta be comfortable throwing it in sometime. And you gotta be comfortable shooting that shot 3 or 4 times a game and not worried about anything. For one, he gotta play you. he gonna play you.
Right.
You gotta play. For two, if you make those shots, you help yourself and you help us. You help DP. You help take pressure off of him. If our only offense is Darren Peterson, that's just gonna end my game 10 because teams will scout it. Coach Self is a great with X's and O's and getting them off the ball and doing certain things. He can only do so much.
Right.
He can only put the kid in position so much, right? Melvin's going to be great with that. El Marco. I need to see more from El Marco. I think he is in a position right now where he's in a tough position. He's in a position that I think I was when Josh Selby came here. It's like, am I the point guard or am I like the off guard? Like, do we want to get him the ball or like what we trying to do here? So now I'm like maybe over drip, maybe trying to do too much, like forcing things that ain't there, trying to get into these tight spots when I should have just made the simple one, or I should have just caught it and shot it. Right? I should have just showed him that I could shoot the ball, and then maybe this ain't even a discussion. And I think El Marco's in a situation like maybe overthinking a little bit. So I think at some point he relaxes a little bit too. It's still early, right? Still early. He's trying to get his rhythm. He's coming back off an injury. I'm sure that has something like that's playing a factor in the way he's moving. But if we can get Marco being backup point guard or Fury being like dominant, also Bryson Tiller. Bryson played really well, but he made so many mistakes defensively in the North Carolina game that hurt us late in the game. And again, he's a young kid, but these are things that I think fast forward to Princeton, you have to like super lock in on these things because the game pace is going to be quicker. North Carolina, the stakes are going to be higher, the lights are going to be brighter, everything's going to be different. But you use these games to kind of see what's going on, not because these teams are bad teams, just because it's going to feel different.
Right.
Being your home, the environment is different, and so take advantage of that. Like yeah, take advantage of that. So I look forward to the Duke game because I know that it's going to be a good game, a good matchup. The environment, playing in Madison Square Garden. If you can't get up for that, then you can't play basketball. You shouldn't be playing basketball. That's the mecca. Like so, that alone is going to be a great game. Duke is a good team, well coached. They got two young stars and the Boozer kid and then the other number 3 kid. I can't remember his name. I know they call him Slim. He's a skinny kid with cornrows. Mother can shoot the basketball. He shoots the piss out of the ball, and they again they're well coached. They're young. They're athletic. Um, and they're Duke. That might feel like a home game. Honestly, like Duke, it might feel like a home game, and we travel well, but it's Duke. It's Duke. It's like it's probably I'm biased, so I'm gonna say Kansas, but a lot of people is gonna say Duke. I mean, then us, right? But it's 1A, 1B, one is that community, that brotherhood, that type of basketball. You don't get that, but in 3 or 4 places, us, them, Carolina, maybe Kentucky at
Kentucky.
one point, um, maybe UCLA you could throw in there if you want to go back to the 70s and 80s and shit like that. But it's only 3 or 4 places where you can go or team that you can play against that the energy is going to be the same if you're Kansas or Duke, right?
Right.
And Kansas and Duke is one of them. North Carolina, like I said, it's not many. So I had the opportunity to play against Duke one time in my career in Maui. So again, something similar to this. It was an early season game, neutral court. Um, yeah, it was just a big time feel. It was a big time feel.
How early do you guys get there for like to travel? Do you guys get to do things in the city as a team?
Yeah, they got NIL. They can literally do whatever they want. But I'm sure the team schedule has them probably eating at a nice restaurant in Manhattan somewhere, steakhouse, some type of vibe like that. Like I like we would always do something like that, some type of fancy steakhouse or something for dinner that night. He wasn't just letting us. He wasn't telling us not to walk around and shit, but he's like a curfew. Don't go here, be here by this point type of vibes. Like you can sightsee. I'm from Jersey. Anytime we went to New York, I made it back to Hoboken. Literally every time we went, I made it back to Hoboken. What probably wasn't supposed to, but 100% did every single time. Um, New York is just one of those places that even the coaches want to go have a dinner or bring their family and take pictures and do things like that, right? So I'm assuming they'd probably leave tonight.
They got play tomorrow. They play
Well, yeah,
Princeton,
that's
so
what I
they'll
meant.
leave Saturday.
Yeah, I'm assuming they probably leave. The game's Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm assuming they probably will leave either early Sunday or maybe yeah, I'm probably
Saturday.
Sunday. Let the kids go out and enjoy Saturday night home and probably leave Sunday morning and get a nice steakhouse, do some practicing some on Monday, stuff like that. Yeah. Um, again, I think it's one of those trips where even the coaches want to bring their family and again, we travel well, so people who don't get to see us play here all the time will be there, ex-players and whatnot. So for sure it'll be one of those type of vibes.
Did you feel more pressure on yourself coming from that area growing up, knowing the mecca of Madison Square Garden?
I wish we could have played every game there. Like, I literally wish we could have played 7 or 8 games a year. That's part of the reason why I committed to Marquette, honestly, when I did coming out of high school, because I knew that I would be able to go home 3 or 4 times a year to play basketball. Seton
Mm.
Hall, Rutgers, St. John's, they play some of their games in
Oh,
Madison
yes.
Square Garden. So, like, I was excited about that, even though I was gonna be in Milwaukee. Like, I knew from November to March, I'm gonna be home for 5 times. My mom's gonna get to see me, my friends, family, blah, blah, blah. So I literally wish we could have played every single game there. I loved playing in Madison Square Garden. As a kid, I loved playing there. I don't think I've ever had a bad game in there. Honestly, I never played bad. I played there and uh it's like a senior all-star game. It wasn't like a McDonald's game, but it was like for like our region, for like the Northeast. We played there, played well. Um Yeah, I wish we could have played every game. I personally didn't get I got nervous. I got nervous for every basketball game because I wanted to play well, but I didn't get more nervous because it was Madison Square Garden. I was more excited for sure. I knew some of my homies was gonna get to see me play and pull up. But I always was relaxed though, because that reason right there, like, man, these kids, they been watching me since I was 10, 11 years old. Like, they just gonna be able to go back to the hood and say that, yo, we got to see my boy play in the Garden. That was great. Those games that we played there was great. I just enjoyed the environment, and it's just as a college kid, you just playing in the NBA arena, you just gotta take advantage of it, and then the NBA arena, come on, yeah, can't be scared for that. If you scared, go to church, baby.
Probably be a lot of scouts there Tuesday night, I
Would
imagine.
I would assume so. I know those Duke boys got a few kids that I'm assuming will be on some draft boards or on some draft boards. That Boozer kid, I guess 2 of them, but I know
They're twins, right?
I guess maybe they look alike, but one's 6'8" and one's 6'4", so I don't know, maybe they twins, but one big, like his daddy big and strong and he's athletic and he knows basketball. He knows basketball. So when I say that, I mean like he understands reads. He's making the right pass. He's taking the right shot. He's gonna be a tough guard for Bryson or Fury. He's gonna be tough for them to guard. And then I know of the one guard, but I know that they got another 2 or 3 really, really good guards. The one I'm thinking about is a freshman, and so this freshman class, for whatever reason, I wanna talk about that too, but this freshman class is really, um, good, so they've been talking about him a lot, and he's played a couple of good games so far. So they're talking about him and the Boozer kids a bunch. But I know they got a couple transfers and shit in there that's making a bunch of money that's ready to play, and so I'm assuming it'll be a bunch of NBA scouts in there. Um
So in other words, I should probably take Duke minus the points.
I would never put my money against Kansas. I maybe not bet on the game, but I wouldn't do that. But it's gonna be a good game, man. I like we can compete with anybody if we got a healthy Darren.
Yeah.
We can compete with anybody if we got a Fury that is a 15-10 guy. Because not only is he 15-10, he gonna get you 2 or 3 blocks, 3 or 4 chain shots. He gonna run through the lane and get 1 or 2 steals. He can't he gotta do more. He gotta do a lot more. He has to do a
Gotta
lot
stay out of
more.
foul trouble too.
Which is gonna be hard because he's gonna go for every shot block.
Right.
It's gonna be hard. Bryson has to be really good. Cole has to like,
Cole just doesn't have to have his mustache. He'll be all
yeah, if that's the way he's gonna
right.
make shots, then you keep that shit off. But we gotta be good. They gotta be good too. They gotta be good too. It's not like they could like we're not who we are, right? We still Kansas. We well coached. We got players that play hard. Trey White was the best player in the game the other day, and he didn't score the most points, but he was the best player because he can guard every position. He can make plays. If he's making shots again, everything looks good. But like he don't gotta make shots to be effective on the court, and that's why he was the best player to me. watching that game. Again, Texas Corpus Christi, Duke, completely different, but he'll play a huge part because he might have to guard the Boozer kid some, even being giving up a couple, inches because he's strong, he's smart, he knows how to play defense, and he's willing to play defense. I think that's the thing about players at this level is who's willing to do it. We all capable. We all quick enough, strong enough, fast enough to play defense. Are you smart enough? Do you know your reads? Do you know how we guarding this guy? And are you actually willing to get up, like to do it? Are you actually willing to do that shit? And I think Trey is. So they got to play too. I think it's going to be a good game on neutral court. So it's not like they have a clear advantage. Again, I think it will be more Duke fans there, but I don't think they have a clear advantage because of that. It's an NBA arena anyway. It's not like Cameron where they're like on top of you.
Right.
It's an NBA arena. It's going to be chill. It'll get loud at moments, but it's not going to be overly loud. They're going to hear each other talk way more than they hear the fans, which in some like college arenas, you just hear yelling the entire game. The fans don't sit down, It's not the same at NBA arenas, even if it's a college game. It's just not set up to be standing up and shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it'll be chill. It'll be a good game, good early season test. I'm not judging us based off a win or loss. I'm judging us based on how we play. If we got better than how we looked
And
2 days ago or a week ago at Carolina. So it is what it is. They'll be fine. I'm excited to see Darren play on the stage. I'm excited to see Fury's play on the stage.
I know you wanted to go back and touch on the freshman class.
Yeah, because I've been hearing a lot about the freshman class. Darren, the Banson kid from BYU, the Boozer brothers, kid from Louisville, Mikael
Kid from
Brown,
North Carolina,
the kid from North Carolina. What's his name?
Caleb
Caleb. Yeah, Caleb.
Wilson.
Um, there's one on every team, but prior to this, either this class is super, super special, which I think they are, because I was hearing a bunch about colleges not recruiting freshmen. They're going for transfer guys and they're
Right.
doing this, that, and the third. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. The transfer guys come in with a reputation already. The young guys are coming in with hype, not a reputation. They'll make one quick for themselves because there's so much hype. But and I guess this is just something that's like me working with kids. I'm preaching, if you're a high school kid, you got to be so much better than everybody else when realistically you do, but you still got a chance. Like you still have a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that was just an evaluation that I had based on watching Darren, watching the North Carolina kid, knowing that we got these Boozer brothers coming up. There's good freshmen everywhere. There's good freshmen everywhere. So high school basketball is still in full effect. Don't let that transfer portal and shit like trick you because these guys come with a reputation. So again, it's like a perfect example. Like Melvin comes to Kansas and he's a proven college kid. Like he's scored points in college. Darren hasn't. So we just think about his height. What could he be? He hasn't shown us yet, but what could he be? And that's what happens with freshmen, or you get to play into that reputation, or you get to just be LeBron James and be exactly what you were supposed to be since you were 7 years old or whatever the
Do
case
you
may be.
think if there was NIL in the portal when you were here, you would have stayed all 4 years?
Mm-mm. Nope. I'm not ashamed to say I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. And it had nothing to do with Kansas or basketball. It's just with that option, if you're a young kid, you're not playing and things are not going your way and you have the option to just leave. In hindsight, I probably would have regretted it, right? Because there's no other places like this, and I know that. But at the time, the way I was feeling about Coach Self and my situation at moments, oh yes, I thought about it. I thought about it knowing I would have to sit out a year. And I thought about it. But again, having to sit out a year is the thing that
Right.
stopped me. Like, I'm gonna lose a year for this shit. Is it really worth it? Then I'm gonna go to a school that ain't Kansas and lose a year. Like, bro, hell no. I'd rather be here. Like, I'd rather just be here and deal with this. Because if I end up having a senior year like I did, then then it makes all sense. Then it made all the sense. And so, yes, I would have definitely
Do you
been
think the
gone.
coach has adjusted his coaching style,
Yes, he
knowing
has no choice.
knowing that he
No,
doesn't have the threat of, well, you're gonna have to sit out a year?
I think naturally, as you just get older, you become more calmer. Matter of fact, it's two things. You either become a little bit more on edge or a little calmer. And I think he has become more calmer because he was already uptight. And as a coach, you
Right.
have to kind of be, right? So I think his coaching style has chilled more. I think his health also has a
Right.
lot to do with that. He probably shouldn't be screaming and yelling a bunch. But he still gets his point across. I've been to a couple practices and he still gets his point across. And I think they still understand it and respect it the same. I just don't think he has the energy to be screaming and yelling. You're a professional, bro. I got you for 6 months. I can't teach you, like, I can't be on you like I was on 18-year-old Tyshawn because, like, I might have him for 2 years. I know for a fact you're here for 7 months. 7 of those months, 4 of them we playing games. 5 of them we playing games. 2 of them is to, like, prepare us as a team. So it's like, do I even waste a bunch of energy trying to get this guy to understand this, or do I just move on? That's coaching. So I'm assuming it's the same for players. Like, he ain't fucking with me. Why would
Right.
I stay here? You know what I'm saying? But as a coach, do I invest in a kid that I know could just leave next year or probably will? Like, what
Well,
do you do? I couldn't imagine playing or coaching in this landscape, honestly. And I want to get into coaching. That's the crazy part, but I would not want to. I ain't even gonna say that I wouldn't because I don't want to cap my blessings. But right now, today, I could understand. I can imagine it being really hard to be a head coach. Um, yeah, and I want to be involved. I think I have the ability to teach basketball. I don't know that I could deal with NIL and trans. Like, I don't want to. Like, I want to be the coach that's on the court helping kids with their skills and talking to them about life and experiences and stuff like that. Um, I don't want to talk to you about your money, bro. How much you making and who's paying you because it's not me. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't the coach for that, but I can help you become a better basketball player and get better. And I want to do that, but I can imagine this landscape being really, really tough to coach in.
they also play Yukon at the field house December 2nd, I
December
believe.
2nd.
I know you played for Bobby Hurley Sr. Do you know Coach Dan Hurley at all?
I
Did
do.
you
I know
guys?
Danny really well, actually. When I was playing for his dad, he was also a high school coach at a school just up the street from us. He coached J.R. Smith. He coached a few other guys that I'm really cool with and that had great basketball careers. But he is very much cut from the cloth his father was. So, and if anybody is watching Danny in real time I'm assuming late 40s, early 50-year-old man, that's who I played for as a high school kid, basically. He's insane. But he's a great coach. And I read something just probably today about how a lot of people or a lot of the things that he implements and people see them as discipline. He don't think they're disciplined. He think it's instilling um what's the word he used? I don't want to misquote him. He's installing or instilling um good values in these
Values.
kids, great values in these kids, and accountability was the word I was looking for. A word I use 25 times a day. It's accountability, and I think for me, I always when I talk about his dad, that's the biggest takeaway I have from him is he's the first person in my life to hold me accountable for something. Like even my mom, like as a parent, she was a young mom and kind of let me just kind of figure out, just go. You boy, be a boy. You fucking hurt your head, bump your head.
Right.
I don't want to hear about it. You scrape your knee. I don't want to hear about it. Like I'm giving you, like you miss a curfew. It is what it. You know what I mean? It wasn't super super structured until I met Coach Hurley. And you miss a class, you don't play. You got an excuse? Everybody does. It was like, damn, my mom didn't wake me up. I missed my train. And da, 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 da. It's like all of these things. I don't care. Like he treated the McDonald's All Americans the same way he treated the freshman who was good enough to be on the varsity team, but wasn't playing enough. So yes, I think Danny is cut from that same cloth of just accountability. It's this way. It's not it's one way. It's this way. And I think the kids these days they just come from a world of a bunch of options.
Yeah. Right.
Like we just got we could it's not just that way,
Right.
coach. It's not just that way, dad.
Right.
It's not just this like no, it's this way. This is the way that we're gonna do it because I said that this is the way and I'm the one saying it. Right. Like this ain't no back and forth. And I think he's he's a old school type of coach. And yes, I respect him. I was at the game when they played him a couple years ago. Got to talk to him. I seen him this summer when he was doing some recruiting and I was coaching around, doing my summer stuff. and talked to him a little bit. He had a guy, it was a guy on one of the teams I was coaching that he was recruiting. So he talked to me about him. We had a long talk. Like I said, he would come to practices. We would scrimmage against his teams and stuff like that. As a high school kid, he had a couple. He had one of my friends from my neighborhood who was younger than me. So when I was in, I want to say when I was in college, or maybe even over, he might be way younger than me actually. When I was overseas, he was still in high school or just starting college. He went on about his professional career, played a couple years overseas, and ended up getting a coaching job with Danny. So when they played a couple years ago, I got to talk to him too. He's a real Jersey boy, man, which I really love and respect about him. He just wrote a dope book about coaching and the way he grew up. A bunch of stories about his dad, which me and some of my teammates were talking about. Um, we knew Danny as a coach and a grown man when we were in high school. We just hated his dad. We loved his dad, but as high school kids, it's like
Right.
we fucking hate your dad. He's fucking crazy. And he went through some of those same things. And we didn't when we seen Danny, we didn't see that. We just seen this is an older guy who
Right.
loves his dad and wants to be everything like his dad. He coaches like his dad, blah, 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 blah. But Danny was like, I'm like my dad, but it's not because I like admired him so much or he never was a dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is who I am as well. But he's molded me, but we went through stages where I felt like he was too hard on me. And I was like, no, no, but it's a great read. He has a great story. He comes from a great basketball family. I'm fortunate enough to um have a small piece of some of that knowledge and information. So and UConn's, they're just a good team. They just
Can be a good
always
game.
yeah, they just always compete. I like the fact that it's in the field house again. Um, I'll be there probably. I think the Twins will come back for that game, so I know that'll bring some of the ex players out, stuff like that. One of those good games that you like having in the field house. You get to play against another powerhouse like that.
Before we wrap up, I'm going to give the listeners a behind the scenes. Opened the curtain a minute ago. Your computer didn't freeze. I froze, and I want to explain why I froze. And I want to see if you were paying attention and you were going to, in our studio here, the kansasnation.com studio,
Beautiful studio, by the way.
beautiful studio, the door opened and somebody walked in, and we're not used to that. I'm not used to that. So my back is kind of towards the door a little bit. So I was relying on my, what they say, you're 6, you're 12.
Yeah.
I was relying on my
Thanks.
guy here, and he kind of froze too. So I just wanted to,
Yeah, because I seen him walking in, but I didn't know if he was lost, and the door is normally locked. I
right.
know that I got a knock to come in here. He just walked right in, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't know what to
So
expect,
my
but
question was, if some shit was about to go down, are you hopping on top of me and covering me up? Or are you running that way?
that didn't seem like a real threat. But if it was a real threat, I don't know.
Like, are you pushing the table over and telling me to
Yeah,
get or-
instinctively, you're gonna know. I don't know how I'm gonna let you know,
Okay.
but I wouldn't just run on you.
I
I'm better
was
than that. But
I was
I'm
trying to
not.
keep going. I was
I
trying to keep
probably
one
won't.
eye this way. I was trying to like read your cues. Like,
Just FYI, we cool, bro. But I'm not covering you up. You're
come
not
on,
my
man.
date. I'm not jumping in front of you for
Come
the.
on, man. That hurts my
I'll
feelings a
warn
little
you
bit.
so that you have enough time to protect yourself. I won't. You understand?
Hurts my feelings a little
Come
bit.
on, bro.
All right, man. So, episode 1, we ended with chopping it up with Chucky questions. Episode 2, we ended with how good a teammate is Tyshawn Taylor, which, to recap, you passed with flying colors, your boy S. Dot and Rio coming through in the clutch,
Yeah.
even though it did take 2 calls to
I said
Sharon.
it before I called him though. So there you go.
So
Prove my point. How much I really know my friends.
next time I see him, I gotta find the answer out why.
All
But
right.
so today, I think we're going to end the show with story time with Tyshawn Taylor. So I'm gonna open up the floor. I'm gonna let you pick the story. You can pick whatever you want. Let's hear a story that not everybody would either heard of, seen, knows about.
Yeah, I talk so much and I've been interviewed so much. I feel like I tell the same stories, but hmm,
While you're doing that, I will give a shout out to the great, beautiful studio we're in, kansasnation.com.
I'm gonna okay. I got a good story since then we in the NIL era. And I probably told this story before, but it's funny to me. It's always funny to me. So I had a great freshman year. I came here kind of not really knowing who I was as a basketball player. Had a pretty good freshman year. Started to really get a bunch of confidence. I got invited to go play USA basketball. I made the team. Went to New Zealand. Won a gold medal for my country. Under 19. Um, most valuable player on the team that had Klay Thompson, Gordon Hayward, um, Seth Curry, bunch of NBA players, and I was the best player on the team. I come back, I got a little bit of per diem because you got per diem we were gone for like a month. So got per diem from that. And then I also came home to a Pell Grant, which at the time was like $2,500 because my mom didn't make a bunch of money. So I got a scholarship to come to school, but I also got a little extra money if you were in need. This is the time we come from. These motherfuckers get hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we were surviving off of $2,500 for the semester, not the month, the semester. That's like 6 months. Anyway, I digress. I got my little check, and then so I got the per diem, which was like 2,500. Then I got the Pell Grant, which was like 2,500. So I had like 5 bands after I'm
This is like
18,
2008, 9,
2009.
9. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like I'm 19, 18, 19 years old. I don't know that I've ever had that amount of money at one time in my hand. I need a car. I didn't have a car. I came from New Jersey. You don't get your license until you're 18. When I came to Kansas, I didn't even have a license. I got my license because I was driving Connor's T-Hand's car, got pulled over, and they were like, "You don't have a license?" Right, wrote me a ticket. Here in court, if you get your license before the court date, they'll throw it away. So I finally decided to go get my license before that court date 3 months later. Anyway, boom. Got my license, get the money. I'm excited about, okay, I need a car. I got a little bit of money. Let's go get a car. I'm not gonna say who, but somebody that worked at KU that helped us as a team who I love dearly to my heart, which is why I'm not gonna say his name. It's like, hey, Scott, I'll say his name. Scott Pollard has a car. He'll give it to you. Shout out to Scott Pollard. Glad to see he's healthy again. I know he went through some heart stuff recently. Huge fan of him, specifically because of his story. Obviously, basketball fan, but like personally, he's my guy forever because of this story. Anyway, guy was like, "Hey, Scott Pollard is selling his car. He may want to talk to him. I think he's living in town again. Blah blah blah." I reach out to Scott. He's like, "Yeah, I'm selling it. You can come look at it if you want it." Blah blah blah. It's like $2,700 or some shit like that was what he was selling it for. I said, "Bet 2,700. I still got 23. I go to the mall. We lit." Scott calls me. I go meet. I look at the car. It's a 1996 Chevy Tahoe, navy blue. I always I called it Biggie because it looked like the rest in peace to Notorious B.I.G. It looks like the car he was shot in when he got killed in California. It's like a old school, and I'm pretty sure that was like 97 when he died. So it was around the same year he even anyway. That's what I called it. It looked exactly like that. 1996 Chevy Tahoe, 95 that million thousand miles on that shit. It was so again, we're in 2008 to 96. So it's a 10-year-old car at this point, 12, 13-year-old car that I'm sure he drove a lot, bunch of miles on it. So I go get my check, I go get my money order and all of that. I'm ready to pay the man. I go there. He's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah, here's, like how much?" He's like, 2,700. Cool, perfect. I got a money order for 28. He was like, "Keep it. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. Just here, take the keys, make sure you get the title change, all of that." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You just about to give me this car?" Mind you, I'm I left to go meet Scott with all of the homies, like Elijah, T-Rob. It was like 4 or 5 people in my room. We was
Waiting.
chilling while we was just kicking. I told them I was going to get a car. So they were like, "Yeah, bet. We're gonna wait till you get back." I come back with the car after not paying for it. I come back with the car, and I still got my $5,000. So we are super like, oh shit, we paddling the car. We head to Oak Park Mall. On the way back from the mall, we run out of gas. Mind you, I spent 4,700 of the $5,000 in the mall. New iPhone, gold earrings, Gucci hoodie from fucking I don't know where we was at in Kansas City. Never put gas in the car. We on I-70, I think, by that McDonald's and gas station right there. We like 5 minutes before we get to it. So too far to really walk. And I'm just like, bro, we didn't put no gas. I was Nadir was there. No, Nadir wasn't there yet. Who was there? Who's the young boy? I can't remember who was the younger guy on the team at that time. But I was like, bro, you didn't remind me to put gas in the car. Like, you didn't remind me to put gas in the car. He's like, bro, what? Like, how the fuck? literally. So for like 2 or 3 minutes, I was like yelling and pissed, and then I was just like, "This is hilarious, bro." Because like I just spent all my money. One, you don't got no. We on a hot like we got all these bags of Nikes and shit in the car. No gas. This is the most ghetto-ish thing I could have ever done. No home training. This is why I couldn't have been in the NIL era, bro. Like this is literally why we could not have gotten money like that, bro. We would have been doing dumb shit all the time. I think that's still one of the funniest. I ran out of gas a couple of times before. That's one of the funniest because I drove past 25 gas stations. I wasn't
Right,
even
from
thinking.
Kansas
I
City to
literally just so happy to get the car. I didn't do anything to that shit forever. It broke down on me moving. Like that car broke down on me so many times after that because I thought from that point on, all you had to do was put
put
gas
gas
in
in
it.
it.
My transmission messed up because I drove it in four wheel drive. It snowed so bad one winter. I put it in 4-wheel drive and never took it out for a year until one day my transmission just. I was like, "What the hell is that?" I had no, I had nothing. I had again. I come from New Jersey. I grew up on trains and buses. I didn't
Right.
drive in a car for real ever. My mom didn't have a car till she was in her fucking late 20s, 30. We didn't grow up that way. So put gas in it. My mom had that car when I graduated. I think she sold it when I was like, she asked me, "Do you want this car?" I said, "Mom, I put more money into this car than I did getting it." One. Now I got a whole new. The transmission was $2,500. I said, "Man, I should have never got this shit." Anyway, it was great for what it was great for because it was a team car for a while. Like anytime we needed to go somewhere, somebody just came to my room. "Yo, let me use your car. Throw the key." I didn't really give a fuck about it. I got it for free. So I was just here, let's just go take the car, take the car, everybody take the car. It was disgusting. It was
Shout out
disgusting.
Scott Pollard. Coming
Always,
through.
always, forever, Todd. And I almost got kicked out of school because of that car too. That's another story for another day.
It's another story for another day.
Yeah. Shout out Scott though.
Shout out Scott Pollard. I think that's going to do it for us. That's the
Statute of
wraps.
limitations on this story too.
See you guys next
Scott on
time.
me cannot get in trouble. Right.
Good. See you guys next time.